Hails wishing for light. It's that or a bad case of rust jangle.
So when we had last left our erudite sorcerer, champion of Azura, and possible dragonborn Nerithor, he traveled to Ivarstead to seek the wisdom of the Greybeards, and he has arrived. He is here, and now it is time to make the climb up to High Hrothgar and see what the Greybeards can teach him about the voice and the dragons. Let's get to it.
Yes, Mother.
We're going to make a supply run for Klimek as well. I believe we grabbed that. I gotta remember to return to him after this and let him know that we were successful. I always forget. Whenever I do his little side quest, I always forget to let him know, yeah, they got the stuff. I'm just so damn forgetful. So, what kind of weather is this anyway? So let's see here. Fireball is doing 72. Ice Storm is doing 40. Okay, so it's still considered good enough weather for my fire magic. And it is very cold here, evidently. A stone tablet. Before the birth of men, the dragons ruled all Mundus. Their word was the voice, and they spoke only for true needs. For the voice could blot out the sky and flood the land. Oh, we've certainly experienced that blotting up the sky bit. The dragons used to rule here, huh? Interesting. They certainly don't seem like they would be kind rulers. Ooh, a bear. Okay, yeah. There we go. Didn't even really need to summon my Dremora. Ooh, goat roast. Free goat roast. Don't mind if I do. What Nerithor really should be eating, though, is cheese. Because cheese gives you extra magicka regeneration, which is quite nice. All right. Got some food for the road. It's just so easy to kill like a little goat or whatever as we travel and get some free meat, you know? And while we're up at High Hrothgar, we'll see if they have any tomes on dragons. See what we can learn. I'm sure that the Greybeards probably know much about dragons themselves, given that the voice itself has to do with dragon speech, as we learned from Olaf and the Dragon. Oh, game crashed. All right, we are back from the crash. I just killed the bear again. And we're gonna go ahead and, fuck it. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's been a while since I just had a straight up crashed desktop in the middle of playing Skyrim. Well, I should rephrase that. In the middle of kind of just being in the world. Usually when I get crashes, it's because I'm loading it usually happens on loading a save, like as I'm playing a game. Like say I died and then I have to load an earlier save. Usually that's when it'll crash, which is not great. But yeah, that was unusual. Oh, a pilgrim. Hello there.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar.
Did you hear the Greybeards call, well, what was it again? Dovahkiin?
I did. Strange days when the monks will do that. I wonder what it means.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So what are you doing here?
I like to spend time up here. Walk the steps. Meditate on the embers. Doesn't hurt when I bag some game along the way.
Do you often visit the Greybeards?
They're not the sort to take visitors. But I never go that high up the path anyway. Some folk who make the trip leave them food or other essentials. But not to make conversation. Good day.
It occurs to me, I'm going to do a quick save here. There we go, just in case. Okay. Emblem 2. Men were born and spread over the face of Mundus. The dragons presided over the crawling masses. Men were weak then, and had no voice. Okay, so dragons were here even prior to men being here on Tamriel. The continent of Tamriel. And it just kind of had free reign, and then men showed up. Well, free reign of their domains. Elves have been here much longer than men. They never ruled, dragons never ruled over us. It must have been only in certain regions that dragons were active. It's quite the peaceful path. Nice view. Uh-oh. I hear something not good. There we go. Now allow me to heal you, my servant. There you go. A mere troll. Nothing we can't handle. Another stone tablet. We're already learning quite a bit about dragons just from the walk up here. Very useful. And apparently, people haven't always been able to shout. It says men in particular. Is it unusual that an elfin is able to shout? I wonder. Why do I have a double backpack? What the hell? Hold up. What? Why? Something fucky's going on here. What am I holding? What am I carrying that's giving me that? That's bizarre. Anyway, Emblem 3. The fledgling spirits of men were strong in old times, unafraid to war with dragons and their voices. But the dragons only shouted them down and broke their hearts. So dragons were probably a bunch of tyrants. And humans, the Nords presumably, would no longer put up with it and decided to try and make war against them, and at first it did not go well. Well, men are still here, so obviously something changed, something happened, and something turned in their favor. And I wonder what that thing is. Bye. Oh, the peaks of Skyrim. It's a cold and harsh land. And Nerithor has come to think of it as home. A second home, at the very least. He does hope to one day return to... Perhaps one day he'll return to Morrowind, but elves have long lives. There is time enough for that. Another pilgrim. Hello there.
I
Did you hear the Greybeards call Dovahkiin?
was just outside Iverstead when it happened. It's an exciting moment. Nothing like this has happened in centuries.
Small wonder you're making the journey here then. So, who are you?
Just a pilgrim. I'd prefer to leave it at that, if you don't mind.
Very well, I will respect your privacy. And what are you doing here?
Walking the steps, meditating on the emblems. I make this trip every few years.
Excellent timing that you decided to make it now. Kine called on Paarthurnax, who pitied men. Together they taught men to use the voice. Then Dragon War raged, dragon against tongue. So one of the man gods, one of the imperial gods. That's not the name of the imperial god. Kine. It sounds like Kinnereth, but it's not quite the same. Who the heck is... Maybe that's the Nordic version of Kinnereth? Oh, there you are. You caught up. I'm glad. So Kine called on someone named Parthenax, and he taught men the voice. Well, who else could teach men the voice but a dragon? So did a dragon turn against all the other dragons and help men learn to shout? That seems to be what that emblem is saying. This is quite the view. Holy shit. I think this is the best view from at this point in the path anyway. That's really good. That's something. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is that I'm carrying. Oh, maybe that's the Eldergleam sap. Maybe I'm putting the Eldergleam sap in a little knapsack. That would make sense, I guess. Ugh, another troll. Wonderful. There we go. Another emblem. Emblem 5. Man prevailed, shouting Alduin out of the world, proving for all that their voice was too strong, that their voice too was strong, although their sacrifices were manyfold. Alduin. Alduin, Alduin, Alduin. Didn't we read a book about Alduin? The name sounds vaguely familiar. Something about the name feels important. So whoever this Alduin was, he was clearly the dragon leader. He was clearly the leader of the dragons during the Dragon War, and man defeated him. Good for them, I suppose. What is that stone circle? Do I know what that is? I think I do know what it is. That's where we got Metalbane, I think. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Never mind, this is the best view so far. Wow. Very cool. Awesome. Could swear I hear wolves. I was warned that there could be wolves on the path to High Hrothgar, but so far we've only encountered trolls. Definitely worse than wolves, but still no match for us. With roaring tongues, the Sky Children conquer, founding the First Empire with sword and voice, whilst the dragons withdrew from this world. So the Nords could shout, and then they turned into conquering dragons themselves, so to speak. And they weren't much better than their oppressors. Yes, they made war against my people. Dunmer. The tongues at Red Mountain went away humbled. Jurgen Windcaller began his 7-year meditation to understand how strong voices could fail. Yes, we beat them back. Tried to invade our homeland, but we wouldn't have it. I believe our former false gods had a lot to do with that, if I'm remembering my history correctly. Wow. I love that you can see a division between like a different biome just right here. You got the Plains of Whiterun, and then you got the Forest of Falkreath, divided by this snowy mountain. Very cool. Another one. Oof, getting a bit cold. These Nords sure do like the cold, don't they? Jurgen Windcaller chose silence and returned. The 17 disputants could not shout him down. Jurgen the Calm built his home on the throat of the world. The first Greybeard, perhaps? In a manner of speaking? Ugh, I'm getting a little bit hungry from all this climbing. It's been quite the trek. Couldn't have built it closer to the ground? Oh. Well, that is quite the monastery. Impressive. Nordic stone architecture sure is something. Doesn't beat a mole crab shell, but still a wonder to see. For years all silent, the Greybeard spoke one name, Tiber Septim. Stripling then was summoned to Hrothgar. They blessed him. They blessed and named him Dovahkiin. Talos. Tiber Septim, if I'm not mistaken. So he too was Dragonborn. I have something in common with Tiber Septim, who conquered my people. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The voices worship. Follow the inner path. Speak only in true need. Voice of the Sky added. Animals will neither attack nor flee from you. Narathor suddenly feels at one with nature. Alright, well, let's drop off these supplies. Oh, wait a minute. The supplies are what I'm carrying on my back. That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm dumb as a rock. Alright, well, I'll be sure to return to Klimek right after we're done here. Well, I'm not quite sure what the rules are here on Umla. I'm not sure if you're welcome in or if it's just me. I don't know. I'll have you come in and you can wait at the entrance. How about that? I don't want you standing out here in the cold. You're cold-blooded. This can't possibly be good for you. Being exposed to the cold for so long. Especially on a high, snowy mountain. Ooh, that's them, I think. Anumla, wait here. Wait here, okay?
Not a problem, brave adventurer. If there is one thing I do well, it's standing guard.
Actually, before we do this, I'm gonna get some more coffee. I'll be right back. I'm back.
So, a Dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age.
You call me Dragonborn. Well, that seems presumptuous. I'm answering your summons, sir.
We will see if you truly have the gift. Show us, Dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice.
Not sure if I have it favorited. Do not. I should probably favorite my shouts.
Do not be afraid. Your shout will not harm us.
Very well.
Dragonborn, it is you. Welcome to High Hrothgar. I am Master Angir. I speak for the Greybeards.
So not all of you are.
Tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here?
So not all of you are mute, huh? Interesting. Who are you? What is this place?
We are the Greybeards, followers of the Way of the Voice. You stand in High Hrothgar, on the slopes of Kinnarith's sacred mountain. Here we commune with the voice of the sky and strive to achieve balance between our inner and outer selves.
I'm here to find out what it means to be Dragonborn.
We are here to guide you in that pursuit. just as the Greybeards have sought to guide those of the dragon blood that came before you.
So I'm not the only dragonborn, aside from Tiber Septim, of course.
You are not the first. There have been many of the
Many?
dragon blood since Akatosh first bestowed that gift upon mortal kind. Whether you are the only dragonborn of this age, that is not ours to know. You are the only one that has been revealed thus far. That is all I can say.
Well, I am answering your summons, Master. I suppose I should call you Master. You seem wise enough. Yes, I'm answering your summons, Master.
We are honored to welcome a dragonborn to High Hrothgar. We will do our best to teach you how to use your gift in fulfillment of your destiny.
What is my destiny?
That is for you to discover. We can show you the way, but not your destination.
I see. Well, I'm ready to learn.
You have shown that you are dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power.
Dragon blood.
All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the second word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance in the dragon tongue. Combine it with Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply.
Huh.
But learning a word of power is constant practice in order to use it in a shout. Well, that is how the rest of us learn shouts. As Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly.
So what I do is unusual.
As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of Ro. Now, let us see how quickly you can master your new thum.
Very well.
Use your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear.
Oh, sorry.
Well done. Again.
That one didn't have a beard. That was a baby gray beard.
Once more. Impressive. Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragonborn.
I could get used to this, actually.
We will perform your next trial in the courtyard. Follow Master Bori.
Very well. You mind if I have a quick bite of cheese? I don't have any cheese. Never mind. I'm going to have a quick bite of tomato. Hope you don't mind. I'm a little hungry. A long walk up here. You guys ever consider moving the monastery a bit closer to the ground? No? Okay. It is fair. Suppose you want to be closer to the sky, so you can be closer to Kinnereth or Kine or whatever. That's a nice clear day. What a nice day to learn the Thume. Oh, does he play? That makes sense. I can see that.
You will now see how you learn a completely new shout.
Oh.
Master Bori will teach you Wold, which means whirlwind. Wold. You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a Thume.
That's what I've gathered as well.
Approach Master Bori.
I'm ready. Seems to hurt you guys.
Now we will see how quickly you can master a new shout.
Doesn't seem all that different from when I absorb a soul.
Hrothgar will demonstrate whirlwind sprint. Then it will be your turn.
Very well.
Master Bori. X.
Impressive.
Now, your turn. Stand next to me. Master Bori will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass through before it closes.
Very well. Wow. Very nice. I can see this being useful to get distance. When some bandit is getting close to me and I want to blast them.
Your quick mastery of a new Thume is astonishing. I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself.
So I am Dragonborn. Honestly, I don't know how I do it. It just happens.
You were given this gift by the gods for a reason. It is up to you to determine
Which
how
ones?
best to use it. You are now ready for your last trial. Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ustengraf. Remain true to the way of the voice, and you will return.
I have many questions for you. I have many questions for you. Well, to begin with, you mentioned Jürgen Windcaller. Who was he?
He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated,
Deservedly so.
years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born.
What is the way of the voice?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
Well, I have no intention of worshipping your gods with the voice, nor really being a man of peace. I don't follow your philosophy. Why are you helping me learn the voice?
The Dragonborn is an exception to all the rules. The dragon blood itself is a gift of the gods. If we accept one gift, how can we deny the other? As Dragonborn, you have received the ability to shout directly from Akatosh. We
Akatosh.
therefore seek to guide you on the proper use of your gift, which transcends the restrictions which bind other mortals.
Tell me about the Greybeards.
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, It is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you. Why don't the others speak?
Their voices are too powerful for anyone not trained in the way to withstand. Even a whisper could kill you.
Maybe it's a good thing I left Anumla at the entrance. There are only 4 of you?
5. Our leader, Parthenax, lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path, you will know you are ready to speak to him.
When can I meet your leader, Parthenax?
As I said, you will know you are ready when your voice can open the path to him.
Maybe it's just a coincidence. So I have questions about the dragons and all that stuff. Why are the dragons returning? Does it have something to do with me?
No doubt, the appearance of a dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear.
Interesting. Surely there's more you can tell me.
There is indeed much that we know that you do not. That does not mean that you are ready to understand it. Do not let your easy mastery of the voice tempt you into the arrogance of power. That has been the downfall of many dragonborn before you.
Very well, you make an excellent point. But what exactly does it mean to be dragonborn?
Dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. What you have already learned in a few days took even the most gifted of us years to achieve. Some believe that Dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. We will speak more of that later, when you are ready.
Very well. Why are the shouts in the dragon language?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
Seems I break the rules, huh? Well, thank you for your knowledge and wisdom, Arngir.
Wind, guide you.
Interesting. So Akatosh has... So am I Dragonborn now because Akatosh chose me? Why would he choose a Dunmer? I'm not a Nord. Why would he choose somebody who worships the Tribunal? The Reclamations? Azura in particular. Was I always Dragonborn? Or did I become Dragonborn because I slayed that dragon? I truly don't know what to make of this. What is this? You can release 5 dragon souls, gaining 1 perk point in return. You can meditate on your Thuum mastery, improving your shouting technique. What would you like to do? Let's look at the Thuum tree. Yeah, whole new Thuum tree. I like this a lot. I don't know how much we're going to invest in this, truth be told, with Narathor. But it is pretty cool. Well, Narathor has the sense that through this stone, he can convert... He can use the slain life force of dragons and turn it into power. And while, yes, he could make his Thuum more powerful, he could also use it to improve his arcane prowess. And that is very appealing to him. He doesn't know about being Dragonborn. He doesn't know how he feels about it just yet. He doesn't know just how much he wants to get into the shouting business. Some of them certainly seem useful, but... His father and mother wanted him to hone his magical talents. And perhaps these dragon souls are just another way of doing that. Oh, they have a forge here. Yeah, High Hrothgar revamped. I freaking love it. A nice little forge. Very cool. Oh, it's nice and warm here. Oh, fire salts. Fascinating. Probably can't do any improving, right? No, I didn't think so. Still, though, very cool. What's up here? Not much. Just the tower. Ooh, what's this? Let's go through here. I think what we'll do now is, instead of heading back down immediately, we'll go through High Hrothgar and see if they have any literature that might be useful to us. They certainly seem like wise. These are wise old men. I'd imagine they have some useful books. Arngir, good to see you. I will be leaving soon, but I want to have a look around first. It's rather dark in here. I hope you don't mind if I shed some light on the subject. Yes, I am not disappointed. They have a plethora of tomes. The Dragon War. Did we read this? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. We're gonna read it. No, wait, we did, because it had the little eye symbol next to it. Well, that is helpful, but let's see what else they have. Anything else on dragons? Magic Sky on Oblivion. Monomyth. Dragon language. Myth no more. Ooh. Let's have a look at that. By Hela Thrice First. Dragon. The very word conjures nightmare images of shadowed skies, hideous roaring, and endless fire. Indeed, the dragons were terrifying beasts that were once as numerous as they were deadly. But what most Nords don't realize is that the dragons were in fact not simple, mindless beasts. Indeed, they were a thriving, intelligent culture, one bent on the elimination or enslavement of any non-dragon civilization in the entire world. It therefore stands to reason that the dragons would require a way to communicate with one another, that they would need to speak. And through much research, scholars have determined that this is exactly what the dragons did. For the mighty roars of the beasts, even when those roars contained fire or ice or some other deadly magic, were actually much more. They were words. Words in an ancient, though decipherable tongue. Well, that's what we've gathered as well. Nonsense, you say? Sheer folly on the part of some Oviagar academics? I thought precisely the same thing. But then I started hearing rumors. The odd snippet of a conversation from some brave explorer or a gold-coveting crypt diver. And always it was the same word repeated. Wall. So I listened more. I began to arrange the pieces of the puzzle and slowly unravel the mystery. Spread throughout Skyrim in ancient dungeons, burial grounds, and other secluded places, there are walls. Black, ominous walls on which is written a script so old, so unknown. None who had encountered it could even begin its translation. In my heart, I came to know the truth. This was proof of the ancient dragon language. For what else could it possibly be? It only made sense that these walls were constructed by the ancient Nords. Nords who had lived in the time of the dragons and out of fear or respect had somehow learned and used the language of the ancient beasts. But at this point, all I had was my own gut instinct. What I needed was proof. Thus began the adventure of my life, one spanning 17 months in the deaths of 3 courageous guides and 2 sellsword protectors. But I chose not to dwell on those grim details, for the end result was so glorious it made any hardship worth it. Cool. In my travels, I found many of the ancient walls, and every suspicion proved true. It did, in fact, appear as if the ancient Nords had copied the language of the dragons of old, for the characters of that language very much resemble claw marks or scratches. One can almost envision a majestic dragon using his great sharp talons to carve the symbols into the stone itself. and a human witness, possibly even a thrall or servant, learning, observing, so that he too could use the language for his own ends. For as I observed the walls I found, I noticed something peculiar about some of the words. It was as if they pulsed with a kind of power, an unknown energy that, if unlocked, might be harnessed by the reader. That sounds like nonsense, I know, but if you had stood by these walls, seen their blackness, felt their power, you would understand that of which I speak. We do understand that of which she speaks. So other people can feel that and experience that. It's not just me, but perhaps because I'm Dragonborn, I can actually unlock that power that's stored away in these words. Thankfully, although entranced, I was able to retain enough sense to actually describe the characters I saw. And in doing so, I began to see patterns in the language. Patterns that allowed me to decipher what it was I was reading. Coffee? For example, I transcribed the following passage. Assigning those scratchings to actual Tamrielic language characters, I further translated what I saw into this. Het nok Ingennavar gaf Kodav, Wodre ya moron, Alfrod du Crosis, Nu Sinon Siv Dinok Ark Dukan, which translates into the Tamrielic as follows. Here lies Ingennavar, Ghostbear, who did seek glory on the battlefield of sorrows, but instead found death and dishonor. Then in another crypt, I encountered a wall with this transcription, blah, 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 which translates into, I'm not going to read that, which ultimately translates into the Tamrielic as, here lies the body of Iglif Iceblood, who met his end not in glorious combat, but at the cruel touch of the withering sickness. And there you see the pattern. The repeated words, here lies, which could only mean one thing. Those walls marked actual ancient Nord burial grounds. So are the Draugr that we fight at these walls the people referenced? That would make sense. You can imagine my uncontainable excitement. It all started to make sense. The ancient Nords used the dragon language for these walls for very specific reasons. One of them was obviously to mark the grave of some important figure, but what else? Were they all graves, or did they serve other purposes as well? I set off to find out, and was well rewarded for my efforts. Here's what I discovered. Blah 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 translates into, I'm not gonna read that, which in Tamrielic translates into this. Here fell the treacherous thief Skjorgi Leechfingers, whose head was removed by the very axe he was attempting to steal. So here we see a wall that marks the spot where some significant ancient Nord died. This passage, translates into, not gonna read that, which in Tamrielic translates into this. This stone commemorates the doomed elf children of the Autumn Field, who fled in terror from the sharp swords of the ancient enemy. This wall seems to commemorate some ancient, long-forgotten event in Tamrielic history. Whether that event occurred on or near the place where the wall was erected, we will probably never know. It all started to make sense. Wait. And finally, this passage, which translates into this, which in Tamrielic translates into this. Asa raised this stone for her sister, so healed the Inferno, whose passion burned hot as the Red Forge. This wall, and I encountered quite a few like this, was obviously commissioned or built by a specific person to honor someone important to them. What was the significance of the location? Was it important to the person who died? Or was it the actual location of that person's death? Again, those answers are probably lost to time, and we will never know. And so you see, the ancient dragon language is indeed myth no more. It existed. But better yet, it still exists, and probably will until the end of time, thanks to the ancient Nords and their construction of these many word walls. But don't take my word for it. For the walls are there for the discovering, in Skyrim's dangerous secret places. They serve as a bridge between the realm of the ancient Nords and our own. The dragons may never return to our world, but now we can return to theirs. And someday, we may even unlock the strange unknown power hidden in their words. Well, I'm in the process of doing that, I suppose. Interesting read. Solemn Pelennel. There Be Dragons, Children of the Sky. That also sounds like something we should read. But There Be Dragons by Torhall Bjork. And take a sip of coffee. The last known sighting of a dragon in Tamriel was in the time of Tiber Septim. He made a pact with the few remaining dragons, swearing to protect them if they would serve him. Despite his promise, dragons were still hunted and slain. It's not clear if the last ones fled Tamriel or if they were exterminated. There is no credible story of how dragons came to be. According to Dremora that the College of Whispers have questioned, they just were, and are, eternal, immortal, unchanging, and unyielding. They are not born or hatched. They do not mate or breed. There are no known examples of dragon eggs or dragonlings. The Iliac Bay area has stories of such things, but so far all have proven false. The eggs turned out to be eggs of other reptiles. The small dragons were merely oversized lizards, and no relation to true dragons. Although they are not born, dragons can die. During the Dragon War of the Merithic era, their numbers were decimated. The Akaviri invaders of the late First Era are said to have hunted and killed scores of them, before and after their defeat by Emperor Riemann. Some sources say the Akaviri brought over dragon-killing spells. Others claim they built cunning traps. One tale even speaks of a rare poison. Most people think of dragons as mere beasts. However, logically, they must have had language in order for Tiber Septim to have negotiated with them. They had their own language, but could also speak the languages of men and elves. It is well accepted that a dragon's most fearsome weapon is its fiery breath. Because they could fly overhead, spit fire, and rain down flaming death, archers and wizards were necessary when hunting them. It is less well known that some dragons could breathe a freezing spray of frost, or freezing blasts of cold. The records of Raymond's hunts contain reports of dragons that breathe or exhale poison. Recently, some were unearthed that described dragons blowing lightning and unstable thunderbolts. The reports indicate that dragons might do one or the others, or even a combination of them. In the same reports, it has been suggested that most dragons had a weakness, which was different for each of them. Some were susceptible to fire or frost, or even be weak to physical attacks. The more fanciful tales have them summoning storms and even stopping time. These should be discounted as myths and fairy tales. Even without this most fearsome weapon, their nearly impenetrable hide and granite-like teeth and claws made them terrifying opponents. There is some confusion over when the last dragon was killed. It seems the last few vanished all at once. Some tales speak of a dragon king who devoured all of them rather than let mankind kill them. One of the more far-fetched stories has Tiber Septim absorbing their essences when he ascended to godhood. Although the exact cause is unknown, they are all gone. No dragon has been seen for centuries. There are a few known examples of dragon bones fused with the stone and rocks of cliffs and caves. Just enough proof to make the stories undeniable. Huh. Well, we've certainly experienced a poison-spraying dragon. It's good to know that they might have specific weaknesses, so we should be conscientious of that when we're fighting them. Summoning storms and even stopping time. We have certainly experienced some summoning storms. Storms of many varieties, actually, with different varieties. And given that I've experienced some summoning storms, I don't know. Stopping time doesn't seem like a big stretch. Sis, I need your guidance. Master Bori, you already know the mission that Jarl Idgrod entrusted to me. I have been busy fulfilling it, but something dreadful occurred, and it has been plaguing my conscience ever since. During my travels, I was stalked by a group of bandits. I encountered them somewhere in the wilds of Whiterun Hold. My next destination was Windhelm. I have no doubt that you will understand why I declined the offer of a carriage to hasten my journey. As is typical for bandits, they taunted me ceaselessly, unable or unwilling to heed my warning to leave me to my own devices. Bored by someone who refused to draw his weapon, they began to pelt me with rocks. I kept my pace and strode forward, but they insisted on continuing their antics. Some ran ahead and blocked my path, while the others swarmed around me in a malicious circle. My eyes, I confess, drifted up to rest on High Hrothgar as I offered them one final warning. Alas, they did not listen. Forgive me, Master. I know it has been many years since I have had the honor to feel myself welcome in High Hrothgar, but I have truly striven to live a life in a way that I felt would be a credit to the way of the voice. I have failed many a time, but on this day I feel my failure most keenly. Their bodies were scattered to the winds, some burned, some frozen. What my shouts did not destroy, my axe proceeded to shred and cleave to pieces. Even with their blood washed well away, I feel unclean. How can I ever redeem myself in the eyes of kine? How can I dare to still dream of returning to my true home when I am no better than a monster? Am I beyond forgiveness? Am I beyond redemption? Please write to me. Your words are my only sanity in these troubled times. Valdemar. Can I take this? And it doesn't lead to anything. Good to know, but still, that is curious. Valdemar. Wonder if we can meet this person. And tell him, oh, it's okay, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, a bath. You know, we haven't had a proper bath in quite some time. Do we have any soap on us? We don't. What a shame. I'm gonna keep looking around High Hrothgar. Haven't quite finished looking around. Council room. Interesting. Wonder why they would have need of that. There are only 4 of them living here. Oh man, I am hungry. Oof. I should have a bite. I'm so absorbed in learning. Well, we forgot to eat. Well, let's have a look at the North Wing now. Oh, some food. Very nice. Arngeir, good to see you. Do I have anything I can cook up? No, not really. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, alchemy bench and enchanting table. I'm surprised that you engage in this. I would have thought that it would not be interesting to you. The Alduin-Akatosh dichotomy. Alduin, that name again. We saw that name on the stones. We should read that. But first, coffee. You know, come to think of it, I think the first time we saw the name Alduin was that book written by some country bumpkin of a Nord called Alduin is Real. The Alduin-Akatosh dichotomy. Book 7 of 2920, the last year of the First Era, by Alexander Simon, High Priest of the Akatosh Chantry, way west. As High Priest of the Akatosh Chantry, I have dedicated my life to the service of the Great Dragon. He who was first at the beginning. He who is greatest and most powerful. Wait a minute, he was first at the beginning. So are actual dragons as old as Akatosh? That other book claimed that they are eternal, essentially. They've always been here. So they've been around as long as Akatosh? Anyway, he who is greatest and most powerful of all the divines. He who is the very embodiment of infinity. I am, quite obviously, a man of deep and unwavering faith, but not blind faith, for I am also a man of scholarly endeavors, and have always valued education and the pursuit of truth in all its forms. And so I have the honor and privilege of making it my life's work to discover the truth about Akatosh and all of our beloved divines incarnations. Throughout the civilized world, and I refer not only to the Empire, but to every nation on Great Nirn that has embraced the virtues of learning and letters, the Great Dragon is worshipped. Usually the highest of divines is referred to as Akatosh, but what some may not be aware of is that he is occasionally referred to by 2 other names as well. The Aldmer refer to Akatosh as Auriel. The Nords call him Alduin. These names come up repeatedly in certain ancient texts, and in each one it is clear that the deity in question is none other than he whom we call Akatosh. Yet there are those who believe, even in this enlightened age, that this is not so, that the regional interpretations of Akatosh are not interpretations of Akatosh at all. Rather, they are references to altogether different deities. Deities who may or may not share the same aspects or be the great dragon at all. Many Altmer of Somerset Isle worship Auriel, who is the soul of Anuiel, who in turn is the soul of Anu the Everything. But if you ask the High Elves themselves, as I did when I traveled to Somerset Isle to continue my research, The majority will conclude that Auriel is but Akatosh with a different name, colored by their own cultural beliefs. So maybe it comes as no surprise that the real theological dissension lies in Skyrim, among the Nord people, renowned as much for their stubbornness as they are their hardiness and prowess on the fields of valor. When I journeyed to the stark white province, I was surprised to find a people whose views on Akatosh are almost diametrically opposed to those of the Altmer. The majority of Nord people seem to believe that their Alduin is legend. Their Alduin of legend is not Akatosh, but another deity entirely. A great dragon, yes, but not the great dragon. Determined to get to the heart of this matter, I consulted with several Nords, chief among them an old and respected clan chief by the name of Bjorn Muchbloodied. And what surprised me most about those I talked to was not that they believed in Alduin instead of Akatosh, but that they recognized Alduin in addition to Akatosh. In fact, most children of Skyrim seem to view Akatosh in much the same way I do. He is, in fact, the great dragon. First among the divines, perseverance personified, and, more than anything, a force of supreme good in the world. Alduin, they claim, is something altogether different. Whether or not he is actually a deity remains in question, but the Alduin of Nord folklore is in fact a dragon, but one so ancient and so powerful he was dubbed the World Eater, and some accounts even have him devouring the souls of the dead to maintain his own power. Other stories revolve around Alduin acting as some sort of dragon king, uniting the other dragons in war against mankind until he was eventually defeated at the hands of one or more brave heroes. It is hard to deny that such legends are compelling, but as both high priest and scholar, I am forced to ask that most important of questions. Where is the evidence? The Nords of Skyrim place a high value on their oral traditions, but such is the core of their unreliability. A rumor passed around the Wayrest Market Square can change so dramatically in the course of a few simple hours that by the end of the day, one might believe half the city's residents were involved in any number of scandalous activities. How then is an educated and enlightened person possibly supposed to believe a legend that has been passed down by word of mouth only for hundreds or even thousands of years? The answer to such a question is simple. He cannot. And so it is my conclusion that the Alduin of Nord legend is in fact mighty Akatosh, whose story grew twisted and deformed through centuries of retelling and embellishment. Through no real fault of their own, the primitive peoples of Skyrim failed to understand the goodness and greatness of the great dragon, and it was this lack of understanding that formed the basis of what became, ironically, their most impressive creative achievement, Alduin, the World Eater, phantom of bedtime stories and justification for ancient, if imagined, deeds. Well, it seems to me that dragons were indeed real, and the Dragon War probably did actually happen. Who's to say Alduin wasn't real? Twin Secrets. That's a book we have to eventually read. But we're kind of focused on dragon lore right now. Shezareen, Great War, Aedra and Daedra, the Dragon Break. This doesn't really have anything to do with actual dragons. But, yeah. Some interesting reading indeed. Anything I can disenchant since I'm here? Nope. Anything I can enchant? Just for practice? Still hanging on to the ebony plate. There we go. Wonderful. Ooh. Oh man, we have been here for a long time. Oh, my goodness. Well, Anam Law, we should probably collect Anam Law, shouldn't we? I don't know that we want to head down the mountain now. It's probably freezing cold out there. Oh. The guest quarter. Oh, wonderful. Well, let's get on Law. It seems like they'll let us stay here. Let's collect on Law. She can rest with us. Law, come on.
ready to get moving?
Follow me. Let's have a rest.
Lead, brave one, and I will follow.
Gonna have to head back down the mountain soon enough. Now, I don't know that we're going to go after the Horn of Jorgen Windcaller right away. We have lots to do. We have lots else to keep us busy, of course. Just one among many things we have to do at this point. And Nerethor needs some time to ponder what he's learned, I think. The revelation that Akatosh has something to do with the fact that he's now Dragonborn is somewhat startling to him. He doesn't know what to make of it. In the dream, 100 voices call to you across wind and sky. Dark wings cast shadows upon the wind. The voices twisted, turned upon one another in hot debate. You found yourself clinging to a snowy mountainside, hands slipping in their grip upon the icy stone. A black dragon landed above you with a thundering crash, and with a mighty roar it sent you reeling out into open air, wayless and wingless. Ugh. Adam Law, you're not gonna believe the dream I just had. Sure was strange. Well, they have a chest here. Perhaps we could keep some things here. Surely they won't mind. We gotta keep these Dwemer cogs. Keep the ore here, though. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do with that pelt, truth be told. We'll keep some things here for now. We'll keep the ebony plate armor here for the time being, and we'll return for it when we need it. It's still a quest item. What else can I get rid of that's particularly heavy? I don't know. I think those were the heaviest things, right? The rest of these things I want to sell off in the near future. Put that away. We can get more wood anywhere. This isn't such a big deal. Don't need to hang on to it, really. Okay, well, at least takes care of some of our burdens. Nope. Law, can you not? Alright, well, we have quite a bit to do. We're not going to retrieve the Horn of Jorgen Windcaller just yet. We still need to return Nettlebane's sap. We need to find this staff. We need to deliver the cogs, but we're not in a rush to do that. This is something we should probably do, I guess. We're gonna do this, actually. Actually, you know what? In the next episode, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna check out. We're gonna probably go to Gearman's Hall, and we are going to investigate Shroud Hearth Barrow, which is all in Iverstead. In the next episode, that is what we will do. You will likely find me in Iverstead. I do not wish to make you all sit through another journey down Hrothgar. So I will see you in Iverstead in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Until the next one, have a great week. Bye-bye.